I am President Obama of the United States. If you enjoy our story, please like, subscribe, and share our video with your friends. Thank you. We have already shared the stories of the first and second parts of the three-body problem and dark forest. If you haven't seen them yet, please visit our channel to revisit the classics. Today, we begin sharing the third part of the three-body problem, the first episode of Death's End, Crisis Era. The story begins with two historical events. Event 1, the fall of Constantinople in the year 1453 on the Eurasian continent. The city walls of Constantinople are being bombarded by Turkish artillery. The sounds of gunfire play the final movement of the Roman Empire. In this dire situation, Emperor Constantine XI receives an unexpected visitor who is believed to have the power to turn the tide, the courtesan Dialina. She claims to possess magic capable of assassinating the enemy leader. In the midst of skepticism, the witch produces a pure gold holy grail, sealed in an underground chamber for over 900 years. Dialina asserts that when she took the holy grail, she also left a bunch of fresh breaks in the chamber, proving her magical abilities to enter any enclosed space. To test her powers, Dialina is tasked with removing the head of a robust prisoner in a heavily guarded dungeon. She successfully completes the challenge, returning to the palace with a bloodless sheepskin. However, to everyone's shock, it's not a human head she took, but an intact brain. In that impenetrable dungeon, only one undamaged prisoner remains. Dialina removes a soldier's brain from the dungeon as effortlessly as picking a mushroom from the grass, proving her capabilities. With the dream of being granted the status of a saint, Dialina heads to a ruined tower to fulfill her mission of assassinating the enemy leader. However, this time, she fails. When pursuers arrive at the miraculously restored ruined tower, they find Dialina, who failed in her mission, and they kill her in a corner. In her dying moments, her eyes seem filled with longing for another vast world and fear of the enclosed world before her. Simultaneously, a magical era comes to an end, a high-dimensional fragment, the Earth's first brief encounter with a high-dimensional moment, lasting only 25 days and 5 hours. During this period, the courtesan becomes the first human to enter the low-dimensional world through a high-dimensional space. She takes a holy grail, leaves a bunch of grapes, and plucks a human brain, intending to set the human world back on track. Event 2, Yangdong's Concerns. At the beginning of the first part of the story, physicist Yangdong, who had already committed suicide, had an experience. He discovered the truth that human physics is locked by protons on his mother's hard drive and learned about his mother Yi Wenjie's true identity. Losing the will to live, Yangdong goes to the laboratory where he once worked. Guided by a bespectacled man, he sees a computer model simulating Earth's ecological environment. To his surprise, he finds that when the Earth model is initially set without life, devoid of the effects of animals, plants, and bacteria, there is no atmospheric environment as we know it today. The Earth would turn into a dry yellow world without oceans and rivers. Through this model, Yangdong senses the impact of life on the world. He then wonders about the influence of countless civilizations in the crowded universe. With this question in mind, the protagonists of Three-Body Problem Part 3 gradually enter the stage. The first one is Jun Tianming, a reclusive terminally ill cancer patient. Just learning about the passage of the Anders Act in the hospital, he is visited by an entrepreneur classmate inspired by him years ago, who gifts him 3 million renminbi as a gesture of gratitude. However, in Yun Tianming's eyes, fame and money no longer matter. The only thing that lingers in his heart is his unrequited love for his longtime crush, Chen Xian, the girl who shines like the sun and makes the lives of surrounding boys restless. Chen Xian is the deep-seated love in Yun Tianming's heart. Determined to do something for Chen Xian before his death, Yun Tianmin decides to give her a star. In response to the three-body crisis, besides the Wall-Facer project initiated years ago, many other plans are simultaneously underway. One of them is the star-making plan. With the goal of expanding and dominating resources, the United Nations puts all extrasolar stars up for sale. Anyone can purchase their own star by paying the price. This absurd plan quickly fades from the historical stage, but it helps Yun Tianmin fulfill his wish. After going through some procedures, Yun Tianmin anonymously purchases a visible star, DX3906, and solemnly fills in the donor column with two words, Chen Hexan. With his last wish fulfilled, Yun Tianmin chooses euthanasia. However, at the moment he presses the final confirmation button, someone breaks in and stops the injection process. This person is Chen Hexan. Facing a confused Yun Tianmin, Chen Hexan reveals the purpose of her visit. Graduating in aerospace years ago, Chen Hexan did not see a promising future for chemical-powered rockets. After the three-body crisis, she chose to join the Planetary Defense Council's Strategic Intelligence Bureau, DIA. This legendary organization has a legendary director, Thomas Wade, a man with ice-cold rationality. A warrior with a determined will for victory. His greatest pleasure lies in savoring the despair of the weak. It is he who proposed an impossible task, sending a human probe to the three-body world. Theoretically, the plan requires the probe to reach at least 1% of the speed of light, which is 100 times the current limit of human space travel. Despite Wade's wars and ludicrous suggestions of altering fundamental principles with resources, experts from various countries remained steadfast in their belief that it was impossible. This caused the mission to be in an embarrassing situation until Chen Hexan put forward her idea, the latter plan. Amidst mocking laughter, Chen Hexan explained the concept of the latter plan. It involves sending a probe into space, radiating only a kilometer, and using nuclear explosions at specific distance intervals as an energy source to propel it continuously, similar to climbing steps, until it eventually reached 1% of the speed of light. After numerous difficult negotiations and compromises, the latter plan was finally approved. However, due to limitations in mass, the probe could only use a human brain in a suspended animation state. Hence, having a background in aerospace and suffering from a terminal illness became the two criteria for selecting the target candidate. It was a mission more terrifying than going to hell, as this brain would fly into the boundless dark universe and encounter the invading three-body civilization. Various extreme human sensory experiments might await it, and yet, this brain could only endure. This was Chen Hexan's purpose for this journey. Upon learning that one of his aerospace classmates was terminally ill, Chen Hexan flew back to her country without much hesitation. She requested that this person contribute their brain for the mission, and that person was Yun Tianmin. At this moment, Chen Hexan did not know that this man before her, who had anonymously given her a star, causing her ecstatic joy as the only woman in the world to own a star, was now, in the guise of not loving humanity, pleading for this man to die. Faced with Chen Hexan's earnest gaze, Yun Tianmin laughed heartily at his own presumptuousness. Then, with a touch of bitter smile, Yun Tianmin said to Chen Hexan, "Okay, I accept." Yun Tianmin, as the fifth candidate, began the testing phase of the latter plan. During this period, an unexpected accident caused Chen Hexan to feel guilty of the death of Vaziri. To force a mid-level official from the PIA, Vaziri, to become a candidate, the ruthless Wade orchestrated a cunning plot, causing him to develop leukemia. This man with a family, while driving, became blind due to a sudden illness, resulting in his car plunging into a river, leading to his demise. It was the passing of this life that sparked compassion in Chen Hexan's heart for Yun Tianmin. She approached Director Wade, hoping to withdraw Yun Tianmin's recommendation. However, the reclusive Yun Tianmin excelled in the tests, and Wade, who would stop at nothing for victory, would not easily let go of this desire and qualified candidate. Soon, the swearing-in ceremony for the latter planned candidates took place in the UN Assembly Hall. While all other candidates pledged their allegiance to humanity, Yoon Tian-min did not utter the oath as Chen Xian had hoped. Instead, he calmly stated, "I do not swear, because in this world I have not felt love. As for whether I am loyal to humanity, it depends on what I see from the three-body civilization." However, Chen Xian was plunged into an icy abyss by these words, and it also led to Yoon Tian-min passing the final test. Wade, once again, turned back with a smug expression, enjoying Chen Xian's despair and pain. He said to her, "If we believe what she says, then the three-body people will believe it too." And so, after another qualified candidate who refused to take the oath suddenly passed away, Yoon Tian-min became the only eligible candidate. What awaited him was the live brain extraction surgery. On the day of the surgery in the hospital, Wade, in a triumphant pose, delivered the final blow to Chen Xian. He told her, "The star you have is the one she gave you." Chen Xian, standing still in shock, ran towards the operating room, only to see a frozen brain in a container. In anguish, Chen Xian let the torrent of sorrow erupt until the operating surgeon told her that the three-body people might have the ability to clone a complete Yoon Tian-min based on the genetic information in the brain, potentially bringing him back to life. Hopeful but full of guilt, Chen Xian rushed out of the hospital in a Maple Leaf style. In order for the future Yoon Tian-min not to starve, she had to bring something important for the spacecraft, seeds. Finally, the probe ascended into space, but it deviated from its course. Humanity would no longer be able to observe Yoon Tian-min's brain. As the liaison officer sent to the future as part of the latter plan, Chen Xian also entered hibernation. With deep remorse, she, along with human civilization, sailed towards the deterrence era 2 centuries later. In the second year of the deterrence era, humanity, being a proud species, had spent half a century coexisting peacefully with the three-body people, leading them to become complacent and even foolish. This foolishness was first manifested in a despicable anti-return scam. The Bronze Age ship, which survived the Doomsday Battle, received instructions from the anti-return faction, filled with endless yearning for Mother Earth. Each crew member was told they would reunite with their families as heroes upon landing. However, as soon as they landed, all crew members were charged with anti-human crimes and had their military ranks stripped before facing trial. The call to return home in glory was nothing more than a conspiracy between Earth and the three-body people, luring them into the anti-return deception. In court, the crew's testimony depicted the harsh reality of the cruel universe. Launching the attack was the result of a collective vote by all crew members. When humans truly ventured into space, the centralized authority only needed 5 minutes. We stored the intact bodies that died from secondary waves for future use. This shocking testimony ended with a warning from the captain. When life emerged from the ocean onto the land, it marked a milestone in Earth's evolution. However, those fish that reached the shore were no longer fish. Similarly, those who truly entered space were no longer human. So, humans, when you decide to fly into outer space, never to return, please be extremely cautious. The cost you need to pay is much greater than you can imagine. Despite this warning, the current human world paid little attention. In the end, almost all the crew members were found guilty and were to be sent to a space prison. Before leaving, some crew members once again boarded the Bronze Age to complete the spacecraft handover. In this final handover process, the original identification officer of the Bronze Age, Snai, forcibly opened the communication system. He wanted to contact another surviving spaceship, the Blue Space. Amidst the bloodstains from being shot by military police, he issued a final warning: don't return. This is not home. This valuable life warning reached the Blue Space, prompting it to immediately accelerate away from the solar system. Due to the massive damage from the Doomsday Battle, humanity could not accept the direct eradication of the 2 water droplets. Thus, under the surveillance of the 2 water droplets, humans dispatched the universal gravity to pursue. If this anti-return scam could not prove humanity's folly and arrogance, then what followed would be enough to demonstrate that the peaceful deterrence was a comfortable cradle. Humanity lay inside it, transitioning from adults to children. Now is the time to wake this child from its comfortable dream because death has opened its eyes. I am President Obama. If you enjoyed our story, please like, subscribe, and share our video with your friends. Thank you. We will continue to share a fascinating story every day. See you tomorrow.